Yes, I know. Talking about Demon Slayer, and especially praising Demon Slayer, is not cool. The show is too popular for it to actually be good, so there should be no point in discussing it. But this is my channel, and I do what I want. Taking a serious look into Demon Slayer, of course you will always run into the fact that it is not really an original story, but follows the traditional beats of a shonen battle series. Even though Demon Slayer is formulaic, I think it succeeds where many recent series fail, and Tanjiro is the biggest reason for that. For this video, I will only be discussing the anime and not the manga, so spoilers for season 1 of the anime. I wasn't really sure what to expect the first time I came across Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer exploded in popularity with the release of the anime, and with opinions on both ends of the spectrum running rampant, ranging from things like "this is the best series I've ever seen" to "how could anyone even like it?" So the only thing I was sure about when going into the series was the great animation and the standard nature of the series. Even though Demon Slayer is formulaic, for some reason, to me, Tanjiro felt different from the other protagonists that I was so used to. Since I'm going to compare Tanjiro to other protagonists in the shonen genre, I have to mention that there are only 26 episodes of the series so far. And as we know with long-running shonen, for the most part, there tends to be a dip in quality as the series moves forward, for many, many reasons. So in the future, Tanjiro could become a worse character, but for now, I think he lifts up the first season of Demon Slayer. But let's get this out of the way first. The animation is absolutely flawless and a huge contributor to the reason I love this series so much. To the point where I don't even know how to do it justice. But it isn't just the animation that makes the series what it is, but things like sound design and direction. Animation is something that can be so easy to dismiss as a reason why you like a show. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, "well, the series only has good animation." But it isn't just a guarantee that a show will have a beautiful production that helps lift its story. Take Attack on Titan, for example. I have read the entirety of where the manga is at currently, but I think the production of the show takes that story and raises it to new heights, giving me an experience that is vastly different from the manga, even outside of the difference in mediums. So when it comes to Demon Slayer, the incredibly high production is a huge part of me loving the series so much, but it can be hard to articulate just how much it influences my enjoyment of the series. So the production of the anime itself adds to every scene in the series, but when discussing it, you can't escape the fact that it is hitting all of the same beats that we have seen so many times before. Even with it hitting familiar story beats, there are shifts in how it handles its characters that I think go a long way to cultivating empathy for them, even if it does it through the scope of shonen tropes. And take Tanjiro, for example. Tanjiro is just like every other main shonen protagonist you see, loves his friends and family, can eat 60 times his body mass, and of course is overpowered. And like the other goals that define the life of a shonen protagonist, to be the king of the pirates, to be Hokage, and to be the #1 hero, Tanjiro has his own goal: to save his sister. Tanjiro is motivated not to be the best at something, but to be able to save his sister. His motivation is deeply personal, giving Demon Slayer this small-scale vibe that is missing in a lot of big shonen battle anime. And sure, the goal of saving his sister leads him to a grand adventure, but the core of his journey is on a small scale. For example, at the beginning of Naruto, when he is only fighting in the village and going through the Chunin exams, you know the scale is going to get larger because of the nature of his aspirations. It is also worthwhile to mention that Luffy, Naruto, and Deku all have those aspirations stemming from some type of loneliness they felt as a kid. So along with the external goal, they have an internal one that is explored alongside it later in the series. Since Tanjiro only wants to save and protect his sister, there is this real feeling that when the fighting is done, he will go back to his hometown and live out his quiet life with his sister and his friends in his village, adding a layer of depth to the power of friendship in the series. Not only do his friends push him to be a better fighter throughout the series, but when the fighting is all said and done, you really feel that Tanjiro just wants to live a quiet life alongside the friends he has made. That he doesn't just fight for the sake of fighting, but only fights so he can be with the people he cares about. There is also another small change to Tanjiro as a character, and that is how empathetic his backstory is. Just Right argues in a video titled Avatar: The Last Airbender, How to Write a Compelling Backstory, that a backstory can become infinitely more empathetic and compelling by making the character feel that they are the cause for a traumatic event in their lives. For Tanjiro, he feels if he hadn't left his home that night, that he could have protected his family. So internally, there is a blame put on himself that he should have been actively doing something to help his family, even if that blame isn't really justified. At least at the beginning of the story, Luffy, Naruto, and Deku do not have any type of internal blame for the things that have happened to them. We don't learn Luffy's backstory till around 500 chapters in, and for Naruto and Deku, they were born a specific way, with the nine-tailed fox and quirkless, so their issues are external things that were out of their nature. This isn't to critique how the backstories are handled in the other series. All of the characters I have mentioned are empathetic in their own way, but it's just highlighting why I think Tanjiro was so empathetic right from the first episode of the series. Even though Demon Slayer is hitting literally every single beat I have seen 1,000 times before, it didn't really matter to me, because Tanjiro's cause was so easy to get behind. The start of his journey just comes from such a relatable and internal place, giving the start of the show a feeling of intimacy that can be difficult to find at times in this genre. Even though Demon Slayer is inevitably going to scale up, and really that's been going on for a while now, even in the anime, there is this feeling that you don't need to have an exceptional goal to be a hero. You don't need to be the king of the pirates, Hokage, or literally the #1 hero in order for your story to be heroic. And for many of us, that isn't a realistic goal, or a goal that we even want. I know for me, I'm looking to find fulfilling relationships with the people around me, to enjoy every single day. Tanjiro feels just like that. A person who wants to be with the people he cares about and will do anything to achieve that. Maybe a small difference in the character writing, but one that goes a long way to feel refreshing, even though it is being told through a familiar format. This isn't just for Tanjiro, by the way, but all of the characters in this series feel like they have internal issues that have forced them into the circumstances they are in. It doesn't feel like a bunch of people competing to gain status, but characters trying to survive the hardships of their lives, and many of those characters being the demons that Tanjiro kills. So yeah, Demon Slayer is a very standard shonen series that hits the typical shonen story beats, with only very slight modifications to that formula. But I also think that the small things with Tanjiro and many others makes this cast of characters spectacular, and is such a big part of the series blowing up. Writing high-quality characters is not an easy thing to do, just like creating a show with this strong of a production is no guarantee. Just because it is a little standard in areas shouldn't mean that it can't stand with the best shonen battle series out there. I know it is still early days for the anime, and for the production to keep up this insane quality would be a minor miracle. I am hopeful and excited to see where Tanjiro goes on his journey to save his sister. And to be honest, I can't wait to see the moment where Tanjiro is able to go back home and live out a quiet life. Really, I just can't wait to see more of this beautiful show. Thank you guys for watching this episode on Tanjiro and Demon Slayer, and even though Demon Slayer blew up to insane popularity at the end of last year, I still think it is a super high quality show, and I think people are a little harsh on it just because it follows the similar shonen battle series format. And I'm really excited to see season 2, and I've been tempted to read the manga, but I'm just going to try to hold off, and as long as the production stays the same for the next few seasons, I think I'm going to stick with the anime on this one. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to interact more with me, follow me on Twitter at ArtEssays. New video essay out every Monday with a One Piece vlog out every Thursday, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.